In the rotation model, could you suggest any rules for excluding assets like MicroStrategy or stop using RT model during sideways consolidation or extreme volatility? First part. Next is from Josh Morris. I've currently built out 5 iterations of the rotation model using the assets listed below. I love your input on the ones to steer clear of. You recently mentioned avoiding MicroStrategy, which is given the recent price action was clearly the right call. That was a few months ago. I just want to make sure I'm not factoring in any other assets that should clearly be omitted. Okay, first of all, the reason to stay away from things like MicroStrategy is we're getting to the top end of the bull market. I've said for a long time, even since last year, we're 80% done. I said a year ago, maybe another 20% left. We're still here today. Maybe another 20% left. Maybe 30% chance we're at the top. That's just the reality. You don't want to be in proxies. Proxies got hammered. I have my anchor baby proxy in case, because I don't have very much Bitcoin, but in case Bitcoin does take off, I have an exposure to it. That's my game. My goals are not your goals, as Rob from Digital Asset News says. But let's talk about this, rotation rules. The only thing you have to do, it's like flying a 747, but the most important thing is you've got to put the right fuel in the engine, which means picking the right assets that will perform well over the next 2 years or 12 months and be very volatile and have a very good Sortino ratio. So very important. Remember as well, high Sortino ratios are a moving target. What's hot last year may not be hot this year. Not everything will go 5x, 10x every year. Remember that. Also, they evolve based on recent performances, like trailing 12 months. Recalculate them, review them quarterly, use tons of tools that are out there, Portfolio Lab, Yahoo Finance, FinWiz, etc., to select your stocks and maintain superior downside protection compared to benchmarks. Okay? Focus on what will do well over the next 12 to 24 months. Do not rely on history. That is death. Always look forward. Another quick tip as well. If something good or bad happens to you in the past, forget it. It's all about what happens next. The past is in the past. It's just like when a company issues earnings reports. It's like people care for 10 seconds, then it's history, dead. So if you made a bad trade or you made a good trade, forget about it. It's over. Move on. Start working on the next good trade, okay? And do not lose money. Very important. What else we got here? Risk management, pair trade, position sizing, 2 to 5% per trade, and no more than 20% of your portfolio. We'll talk more about this tomorrow on the Fireside Chat as well. And Patreon, remember, 20% is your trading bag, 80% is your hodl bag, your fat mattress. Now, what I didn't analyze all of your stocks here. That's too many. I don't have the time, because when I analyze a stock, I go deep, and that would take me 5 or 6 hours to do this. I might have a look and see what I can find. But this is my new list of high Sortino ratio stocks that are beyond our typical suspects that you all know what they are as well, the Teslas, etc. Again, what's going to be hot? NVIDIA, what's going to be hot for the next 2 years? Now, I did add CrowdStrike in there. Sortino ratio, approximately for the next 12 months, about 3.1. Hood, 4.06. Palo Alto Networks, 3.05. Palantir, 4. And Rocket Lab's 4.67. Space defense will be so important. So important. Remember, this isn't a war machine. This is a defense machine. If there's a missile coming towards the US, we need some type of space protection. So sounds weird, but that's why the exposure there. Now, I took these blindly, these 5, and threw them in the model just to see what happened over the last 12 months. And here we are. The results are in. These are the assets. We have Palantir, Crowdsource, Robinhood, Palo Alto Networks, and Rocket Labs. And if you had 50K to start with, and you did this for the last, if you just held these for the last 12 months or so, your 50K would have turned into 116K. But if you rotated with them, your 50K would have gone nearly 5x, up 355.1% return versus 132.7% return. Yes, they're volatile, but rotating is magical. You've all seen my rotation between you-know-what and you-know-what over the last 12 months and how mind-blowing that has been. Rotation is everything. You don't have to sell all your stuff, just a piece of it. Even selling 20% of your bag and rotating into something that's completely oversold can be life-changing, especially when you use leaps. That's it. It's not hard. Really not hard. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So that is the rotation model. And by the way, I haven't even tuned this in. I could get really sophisticated. I could change the time frames. I could change the loads of the assets, just 100 shares each. Last 12 months or so, nothing. 80-20 retention, sell. That's the result. But you could tune them all, like how much you retain of certain assets, how much you have of certain assets, your allocations, then you get a much better results. But I didn't even do that. But anyway,